What's up, YouTube? It's been a minute. It's your girl, Tip. It's your girl, the Tiffany Lavender, the purity enthusiast. And speaking of purity, that's what this video is going to be about. So, like I said, it's been a minute. I haven't posted too much content on my YouTube page, but I'm getting better. I'm growing and I'm learning. But I realized that I hadn't really posted a lot on my YouTube page in particular about purity, which is one of the reasons why I decided to make the YouTube page. And so I kind of want to give you a quick run through of what purity means to me personally and why I decided to take the purity journey and why I love it so much. So, my purity journey started around 2014. I made a promise to God in high school that I was not going to have sex until I got married. But I didn't acknowledge that as purity. I just knew that I was being abstinent. And then once I made it through college and still not having sex, which was definitely a challenge, and I think I'm gonna do a video about how I navigated through relationships, building relationships with men in college while trying to maintain my purity and while at one point being really discouraged and not even wanting to be pure anymore and trying to lose the concept of purity and God not letting me let it go. So I think that would be a really interesting story, but making it through college, remaining pure, and now as an adult living my everyday life and how I maintain relationships, in that most people know that I am the purity girl, especially in the area that I live in, but some don't. And so when they hear me talk about it, they're really intrigued because they didn't know, or they're like, oh, I didn't know you did purity or you believed in being pure. I didn't know that you were a virgin. I didn't know any of those things. And so people typically are like, tell me more, because sometimes it comes to a shock for them. And then sometimes they're just like, I just never knew anybody who loved it and taught it so much like you do. So I kind of want to learn more. And everybody's journey is different as far as purity goes, but one of the main things is to remember that if you are living a Christ-centered life, then you're living a pure life. Like you sign up for purity when you sign up to live a Christ-centered life. And all purity simply means is that you're intentional about keeping everything around you and about you pure. So of course you're keeping your body pure with your sexual purity, but you're also keeping your thoughts and your mind pure. You're keeping your speech pure. You're keeping what you watch pure. You're keeping your intentions with people pure, like not being a manipulative or evil person. That encompasses purity as well. So really figuring out what that looked like for me and having self-control. Self-control is key when it comes to purity, and self-control is a fruit of the Spirit, which simply means when you receive God and you receive His Spirit inside of you, you start to develop certain characteristics and qualities, but you have to grow those things. And one of those characteristics is self-control. And purity in every aspect requires for you to have self-control, right? So if you're going to control your thoughts or make sure that your thoughts don't go left, and that you're not plotting and scheming on people, or that you're not plotting and scheming how you can manipulate someone, or that you're not speaking word curses over people or speaking negativity into their life, but you're uplifting them with the things that you say, or you're simply just keeping your mouth closed if you don't have anything nice to say, so whatever you do and however you do it, when it pertains to living your life a pure way, you got to have self-control. And that is something that you have to grow and develop. And you have to be honest with yourself and others, because you got to have accountability. So you have to be honest with yourself about some of the things that you just lack self-control in, right? Just because you have a strong level of self-control in the area of your sexual life, if you're not married and you're abstaining from sex until you get married, that is amazing and that's great. And kudos to you if you've been successful in that. And also kudos to you if you've fallen but have said, I'm not going to let the fall define me, and I'm going to start where I fail, right? So if you have been having good self-control in the area of your sexual purity, that is amazing, but it doesn't mean that you have good self-control. And that's something that I found out and am still discovering within myself, because if you have issues with overeating, if you have issues with overindulging in anything, overspending, whatever the case may be, that's an area that you need to implement self-control in, right? So use the same strategies that you use to have self-control in one area in other areas. But if you're going to talk about purity, if you're going to choose to live a pure life, and even if you're thinking about how you can better your life, and you're exploring purity to see, I really want to change my life. I want to do something different. I want to do it right. I want to get it right this time. And you're exploring how purity can help you get it right this time or do it differently. The first thing I would encourage you to start implementing in your life is to operate in self-control, is to implement self-control. And don't mistake self-control as doing everything for yourself or being able to have the power and the willpower to do everything on your own. But remember, self-control means that you're allowing for God to have control through you. So the control comes through your actions and your thoughts and your ability, but not in your own ability alone, but through the partnership of the Holy Spirit, right? So partnering with the Spirit of God that lives inside of you is what's going to help you implement self-control in your life. So that's really important. That's probably one of the main things or that I would tell people to focus on or where to start. And then I would tell them to buy my book, a 25-day devotional called Purity on Purpose, which kind of walks you through how to implement purity, what purity means, purity in different stages and levels of your life, whether it be with purity, being pure with your friends, being pure with your relationships, being pure with your body, being pure no matter who's watching or who's not watching. So shameless plug, if you want a really bomb book, and there's amazing purity books out there, but if you want a great devotional, something simple, an easy read to start, Purity on Purpose, you can purchase it on Amazon, or you can direct message me on one of my social media platforms on Facebook or Instagram, and I can send you a signed copy by yours truly. So yeah, that is my spiel. And I hope that you like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you can see all the notifications of when I'm busting down YouTube channel with new videos, okay? Bye, guys.